Hi everybody, I'm Danny. To my left is Amit from Microsoft for Startups. Today we're having Tom Amsterdam, the VP Product from Granulate.
Hi Danny and Amit, thank you for having me here.
Thank you for coming, but what is Granulate?
So we call Granulate a real-time continuous optimization solution. Our goal is to help companies handle compute workloads with increased performance and reduced costs without any code changes or R&D efforts. The core premise behind the product is that operating systems and runtime environments were designed as generic general-purpose solutions, and therefore they optimize or manage resources in order to achieve interactivity and fairness, while production infrastructure are totally different. They do specific tasks with repetitive patterns and high performance and scale, and could stand to benefit better performance with a more application-driven resource management approach.
This all sounds very interesting, but how does Granulate actually work?
So Granulate is an agent-based solution. The agent can be deployed on a single instance or all of the instances within a specific workload. And once the agent is deployed, it starts learning the data flow and resource usage patterns of the application and the infrastructure, identifying optimization opportunities and identifying bottlenecks. And once the learning is done and converged, the customer can activate the agent, and the agents, when it's activated, they start making real-time continuous decisions to optimize resource allocation and management at the operating system level and at the runtime level to deliver improved performance, reduce CPU utilization, reduce response time, increase throughput, and lower costs.
Nice. Is it open source?
So we recently launched an open source project in which we released back to the community the learning capabilities and profiling visibility that the agent uses to allow companies to optimize their own application and their own infrastructure without the use of Granulate. And as always with the approach of Granulate, it's completely frictionless, completely seamless, and it's a plug-and-play solution that can be deployed on any Azure workload.
It all sounds quite fascinating, but why now? What has changed?
So cloud adoption has increased significantly, and with the agility and elasticity of the environment in the cloud, like in Azure, customers are not bound to the same capacity as they were before in the data center world. And these cloud environments allow to optimize performance and to leverage and improve performance to actually reduce cost and achieve better operational efficiency. And that's a huge gap that can be answered with newer technologies like the real-time continuous optimization.
Where do customers deploy it? Can you give an example?
So I'd love to. Granulate support all the compute environments and workloads that are running on Azure, but also on other cloud providers. And the main value of Granulate is to optimize compute environment and compute workloads. And we have here a use case map that describes the different workloads types and the performance benefit and time to learning benefit that Granulate has on these kinds of workloads. Essentially, it supports AKS, Kubernetes, Dockers, HD Insight, or Azure VMs with significant performance benefits. And we also have here an example of one of our Azure biggest customers, which is one of the top 5 retailers and e-commerce sites in Southeast Asia. And you can see the benefit in the activation moment of Granulate before and after, both in terms of CPU utilization and response time, translating to direct cost reduction.
How hard is Granulate to deploy and use?
So Granulate can be deployed in less than 3 minutes. Today, installing an agent is quite a simple operation. We support all of the provisioning process from a single command line to Puppet, Chef, Ansible, or a daemon-based installation. But I think and it can be done without any code changes or R&D effort. But I think what's more compelling is that because we optimize in new place across the technical stack, then it's usually fully additive or agnostic to other deployed optimization solutions.
Tom, is it demo time?
It is. I would love to show you Granulate in action. And I'm having here an Azure-based workload, which is a representative to a customer workload. And we have here a Grafana, which is supposed to give you the illusion of a customer-monitored environment, the way that DevOps engineer would monitor his own environment. And we have here 5 front-end servers. Each of them generate requests simultaneously to 10 back-end servers in a different region. And we can see that they're all operating in the same performance rates. So throughput is around the same. Latency, both P50 and P90 are very similar. And CPU utilization is around 60%. All in all, it looks like a quite well-optimized infrastructure and workload. And what I can do here is I can log in to one of those instances. And I'm logging in into instance 252, which is a light blue line over here. And I can activate Granulate. And I can do it through the UI, but I'm doing it through the CLI command line to show you what really happens when you activate Granulate. And when I activate Granulate, it essentially loads the relevant modules into the kernel, into the runtime environment. And once activated, the Granulate agent starts making real-time decisions in optimizing resource management. And what we would immediately expect is to see that specific instance operating much faster with better performance. And when we look at the lines over here as a Grafana monitoring dashboard, we can see that the light blue line representing that instance start operating with better performance. Response time has been dropped by around 33%. We can see that the instance is starting to take a lot more load, around 20% increase in throughput, and it's doing it all with less CPU utilization than before. And once we activate Granulate across the entire cluster, CPU utilization drops even more due to compounding effect, and the elasticity of the environment starts to kick in, and the customer gets automatic cost reduction because it can support the same workload with 20% less resources.
Now that you've dazzled our viewers with this amazing demo, where can they start using Granulate?
So Granulate is available, the open source tool of Granulate, gProfiler, is available both at the Granulate website and in the appropriate GitHub repository, and is fully maintained and will be continuously be maintained by Granulate. But Granulate is also available through the Azure Marketplace for Azure customers and through Granulate self-service website.
Tom Amsterdam, thank you very much for coming today.
Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you.